Hey everybody, today's February 8th, and today we're going to talk about the price of Bitcoin finally having a nice breakout. But is it a trap, or is this going to continue up higher, perhaps to retest 50,000? Before we begin, please read the disclaimer and you can pause this video as you read it. Okay, so last week we talked about, I made a chart that talking about how we had a nice recovery so far, potentially putting it in a bottom, right? But we still need to see more work from the bulls, right? And I said that I was looking for this range, for Bitcoin to enter this range, right? The $40,000 range. And at that moment, I would say that, hey, if we can hold this as support and push up higher, then I would be looking for longs, more aggressive long positions, right? But if we're able to fade and we make basically lower highs, right? Like from here, fake rally here, another fake rally here. If we try to break to 40,000 and it fails, we could potentially see another shorting opportunity, another lower high, right? In this downtrend that we've been in for about 3 months now. And so on Friday, what happened was a couple days. So this was on February 3rd, and this was so this is one day. One day later, we saw a nice pump on Friday into the 40 handle, right? The 40,000 range. Now the question is this going to be another fake rally that ends up fading, right, and giving us a short opportunity, or is this going to end up flipping to a long opportunity, right, that forms a support level at 40,000 before pushing up higher, 50 to maybe 60,000, right? And I said that if we can break above 45,000, I think that'd be a good place to look for longs, right? Otherwise, if 40,000 is faded, it could be a good place to look for shorts. So let's look at the chart right now. Of course, we saw the 45 actually get broken momentarily, but as you can see with this sharp spike up here, right, we've actually been rejected. So we're currently getting rejected by 45,000, which is this range that I talked about, right? The good news is that we had a strong break into the 40,000 range, which is around here. And so far we've been able to hold it, right? This is the weekend, and the weekend didn't fade, which is good. But right now we're starting to see a little bit of weakness about the 50-day moving average, this silver line. If we can hold this line, cultivate support, and potentially push up higher to test this next resistance level, which is our Fibonacci resistance level at 47,000. And we can break that level. I think that could be really, really bullish for the structure, because right now Bitcoin has a lot of challenges. There's a lot of resistance, right? We had this death cross, which predicted this huge plunge down, and right now we're getting another cross here, right? The 100 and the 200 day, right? And so a lot of crosses, and that's going to end up fulfilling the bearish terms of the bearish structure of the moving averages, where the 200 day is above the 100 day and 100 is above the 50 day, right? That's when the moving average is telling us that we're in a downtrend, right? Although the moving averages are lagging indicators, so of course we've been in a downtrend for a while, for 3 months now. But the fact is that Bitcoin is trying to put in a potential reversal, right? We're trying to put in a potential bottom, and this is really the strongest reversal that we've seen so far over the last 3 months. This candle alone on Friday was over 11%, right? But Bitcoin really needs to hold this level, right? So okay, so in the short term, I want to see Bitcoin at least hold 40,000. That's the bare minimum, right? If we don't hold 40,000, this is probably going to be another lower high in a downtrend that continues on lower, and a potential shorting opportunity, right? Like I said over here, if we break 40,000, if it's faded, look for shorts. Not financial advice, right? That's just what I would do. Now, if 45,000 is broken and we go up higher, that's when I'll be looking for shorts. Especially if we probably can consolidate for it, because we've been consolidating for a long time along the way down. So we'll probably consolidate for a while around 47 to 50,000. That's going to be a strong 50,000, in my opinion, is going to be a strong psychological barrier. But once we break through it, to me, 60,000 is a piece of cake. You just go straight up, right? But the challenge is, can we break above 45,000, 50,000, let alone 45,000, right? So Bitcoin really needs to break above 45,000. So in my opinion, the worst case scenario for the bullish case is that we come down to 40,000, bounce around for a while, cultivate support, and then push up higher. Best case scenario is we do something similar to this, right? Well, we came up, and this is very similar in terms of price action, right? We had a huge break, and this red candle was actually the weekend. So these two candles, red and green, was the weekend during this time in October, and we ended up holding this level, and then we saw a nice surge over the weekday, right? And the same thing here. This red candle was a Saturday and a Sunday here. This is a weekend. So there's very similar fractal pattern that we're seeing in the October pump that we're seeing right now in February. And if this follows that pattern, then we should see a nice pump, right? Of course, there's a lot of resistance along the way, but then again, there was a lot of resistance as well here. So, but the idea, and also keep in mind that this is happening at a lower price than here, right? So just something to keep in mind. So that's the best case scenario, is that we follow a similar fractal pattern that we had in October and we just pump higher, right? But just to be conservative, we never want to be too, crazy with our predictions and not meet expectations and disappoint everyone. So realistically, I think that the bulls want to see us cultivate support at 40,000. We want to hold 40,000, right? If 40,000 is broken, like I said, if 40,000 is broken, that's probably going to mean that this is a fake rally. This is a bull trap that and ends up being a lower higher, right? And will continue the downtrend, and that could be a good shorting opportunity. If 40K is held, right? 40K is held, and we break up at 45,000, that could potentially be a good long position, and we'll definitely update you to see what positions I personally would take. Of course, not financial advice. You got to make your own decisions, but just what I would personally do, right? So let's look at some on-chain. Okay, hash rate is still not at all-time highs since we peaked in January 12th. So it's been almost a month, but we're still in a primary uptrend, right? We're still in an uptrend, right? Not in a downtrend like here. Still an uptrend. So I'm not too worried about this. Of course, I want to see the hash rate go to all-time highs, but cultivating support around this level, moving around, consolidating is not necessarily the worst thing in the world, especially since we're still making higher lows and higher highs, right? So we're still in an uptrend. Definitely want to see the hash rate spike to all-time highs, but I'll take this, right? Basically, fear and greed index is improving, right? We've basically been in extreme fear/fear for pretty much the last 3 months, right? But right now we're seeing a lot of more strength, right? Bulls are starting to come back, and that's important because when the bulls have confidence, they're gonna have more confidence to take more aggressive, perhaps leverage position and try to like wipe the bears out, right? Push the bears out, squeeze the bears out, right? Short squeeze. And as we saw with our recoveries in September and also October, if we see a similar structure, we're pretty much halfway there. That means that the recovery in in July and August, right? When we had these two recovery runs from the low in 30,000, right? And over here, we saw that we saw a nice pump in the fear and greed index, right? All the way up to above 70 to 80, right? So the fact is we're still halfway there. We still have a lot of room to run, and before the fear and greed index starts to top like it did back here in August and October, right? Where we had our tops here, right? August and of course the October run. So the fact that we're only halfway there makes me very optimistic that there's still a lot of room to run, especially if we do end up fulfilling this fractal that I just talked about, right? Very similar price action. We end up just mooning right here. So there's the fear and greed index tells us that it's definitely possible. There's still a lot of room to move up. So anyways, this pump is very nice that we've seen over the last couple days. But then, like I said, we want to hold at least the bulls at the bare minimum want to hold 40,000. We want to stay within this range, right? 40 to 45,000, and then work our way up. Best case scenario is that we moon it like we saw back in October, just go straight up, right? But we want to try to be conservative and realistic. So the more realistic case with the bulls is just defend 40 to 45,000 and push up higher. Bears want to try to break 40,000. If the bears can break 40,000, this might end up being another lower high along the way down in this downtrend, bears downtrend, right? So that's what the bears want to do. I'm definitely more bullish now that we have this nice pump up, but again, bulls have a lot of work to do. And again, on Thursday, there's going to be a CPI print, so that's going to be important for the stock market. And we said how the stock market affects crypto markets, right? If the CPI print is good, if the inflation is low, that's going to be good for the market because that's going to suggest that the Federal Reserve might not do tapering as aggressively as people expect, and the rate hikes might not be as bad as people expect, right? And the market right now is optimistic and recovering right now, and in anticipation for February CPI print. But if the CPI print is bad, if the inflation print is high, that's gonna be bad for the markets and probably going to be bad for Bitcoin because the Bitcoin follows the stock market, right? Because if the CPI print is high and inflation is high, well then people are going to believe that the Fed might be more aggressive with their tapering and their interest rate hikes, because the whole point of doing these things, these tools in the first place, is to combat record inflation that we've seen over the last 3 months, right? Inflation that we haven't seen since 1982, like 7% inflation. It's really high inflation, and so On Thursday, I'll definitely update you either with a video or with a chart, along with my stock market analysis, and we'll see how the market reacts to that. And of course, that's going to set a strong precedence for what we might expect in March when the Federal Reserve has their second meeting of the year and determines whether the tapering and the rate hikes are going to affect the market, stock market, and the crypto markets. But for now, we definitely want to see the bulls defend 40,000 and of course try to break above 45,000. But that might take a couple of days to play out, and we'll see. We'll definitely update you and see how the price action develops going forward. Thank you for watching this video. If you found it useful, helpful, and informative, please like this video, leave a comment below, and subscribe for updates. Appreciate all your support. Thank you again, and have a great day.